y'all. It is the start of a new evening, and we're still sick. Woke up with a still really congested nose today and had some horrible coughing, which did not feel fun at all. But we got a good work day in. We got a bunch of meetings set, which is good going forward throughout the end of the year. So that's all under wraps. But now's the fun part where we get to enjoy the evening. So today we are hitting legs. I don't know how crazy our leg day is going to be today because I'm still kind of recovering from a sickness and I'm such a baby when I'm sick. But we'll see. I just want to hit it just because last Wednesday when I had legs, it was not a good leg day workout. So I want to make sure I'm not skipping out on legs. You don't want to be that guy. So we got that planned. On top of that, we have Japanese after that. I think today we're going to do some more pitch accent notes. I have some Dojin videos to go through. So I'll probably spend like 20 minutes going through those videos. Then I want to do about 30 minutes of shadowing and speaking. I might jump on Hello Talk and embarrass the fuck out of myself and just put up the Genki vocab of what I'm actually going through. And yeah, we'll see how that goes. Because I feel like if I don't start practicing early speaking, I'm always going to be embarrassed to speak. So I want to be able to utilize the words I'm using because I feel like instead of just memorizing words and just knowing, okay, Toshokan means library or Yubinkyoku means post office, having an actual sentence with someone else who brings it up is going to solidify that memory. Because right now it's just a word bank. And to make it into a sentence bank, I don't know if that makes sense. I need to practice using them because that's going to solidify, I could use this in this sentence. I could use the particle no, which is kind of combining two nouns together. I could use that in a sentence. So it's really just kind of getting the hang of the words I know with the right pitch accent and pronunciation and then asking for feedback as I speak those. I think that would be the goal of the day. And then we'll go from there. So fun evening ahead of us. I think that's pretty much about it. We got a new gym fit today. Look at this, check this out. We got our Kill Crew shirt. We finally got in for my birthday, that was last month, and we got shorts that are way too short. I'll just call it out right now. Honestly, I'm going to give these shorts to Peyton because they don't fit me anymore. But I have wanted this fit for so long. It is just such a sick gym day fit. And I got some orange and black custom Converse too that I'm going to wear with it. You'll see at the gym. I just wanted to wear it once, It's probably going to be it's one of those things where I get in the gym, I'm like, damn, these shirts really are really short. So I'll probably fix it. Probably won't wear these in the future. I might have to get a new pair of gym shorts. But I finally have the whole fit together. This is going to be the best leg day ever, regardless of how good it is, because I got a sick ass fit on. So that's our plan for the day. We already ate our pre-workout meal. We already ate most of our meals today. Now all we got to do is hit the gym and get back and study some Japanese. Let's get it. All right, we have just made it to the gym. We got probably an hour of a workout planned for today, and we're gonna head back to the hotel. Something that I think about when I am doing these workouts is, extra ways I could get exposure to Japanese in my free time, because most of my day is work. And work is work, so nothing happens during work outside of me working. But with the last 4 to 5 hours of every evening, it's how can I get the most out of those? Because all I'm doing right now is just sitting at the hotel room anyway, so I need to find a way to fill those up. So a lot of the things I do is just consume a lot of Japanese content. So right now I've been listening to a bunch of Japanese music. So while I am working out, typically I'm playing Japanese music the whole entire time. And it's not something that I could fully understand, but as I'm working on pitch language now, it makes it a lot easier for me to practice maybe picking up on some of the pitches that I hear. So part of it is just consuming while doing something else. It just makes it a lot easier. So using what you can with the hours you got, that's all you can do sometimes. So we're gonna knock out this gym workout. We're gonna have a hell of a leg day. Then we're gonna come back and relax a bit. Let's get after it. just got back from the gym and got a shower. My hotel actually has some tea. Hotel ni, hotel wa ocha desu. Or hotel no ocha desu. Hotel tea. That's what I got drinking right here. So that's one of the good things about staying at the Element. Sweet. Hot. So we're about to get at least an hour and a half studying in. I'm going to tell you guys how I'm going to break it up. So I think first 30 minutes are going to be, going through my kanji, going through some of my more vocab words. After that, I want to do probably 30 minutes of pronunciation, shadowing, and talking. So for that, I'm actually going to get on the HelloTalk app and see if anyone joins my voice room to help me with pronunciation and fixing my pitch. Then from there, we're probably going to do some more flashcards for my Anki deck. Because after I went to bed last night, I spent at least an hour to hour and a half looking up every single pitch and what pattern it is and how it connects to the word and added it into my deck. I got through half of chapter 1 vocab. So funny enough, I was actually pronouncing a whole bunch of things wrong. So I'm glad I did that early on compared rather than later. So now I can actually work on that pronunciation. But the goal is to learn, speak, then a little bit more learning after that, updating my Anki decks and adding some new vocab. And then we're going to do some immersion. So I've ascended. I'd like to say I am no longer just an anime guy. Today I have started a Japanese drama with just regular actors. So I watched a little bit of it last night, and it was really good. I'm a sucker for it. It's Orange Days. It's a complete rom-com romance drama, and I'm just eating it up. I'm a sucker for those type of shows. So I'm watching that right now. The nice thing is it's very proper Japanese compared to what anime is. So as they're saying words, it's processing in my head, and I'm repeating back some of the words they say. And I'm able to hear a bunch of the words that I'm already learned at this point that don't sound anywhere like how I was saying whatsoever. So I'm glad I'm taking a step back to move a little bit more forward. So we're going to get a time lapse going. We're going to get started on some kanji. Then we're going to get working on some speaking. So let's get after it. All we're doing now is just some practice. So for the last part of the time lapse, you probably saw me just staring at this page. What I was trying to do is get my brain to start thinking Japanese sentence structures. So I was picking words and creating sentences with the words I have. Even though it's not directly stemming from memory, it's starting to work my brain and thinking of okay, if I want to make a word with sleep, or if I want to make a word with drink, how do I build out the sentence from there? And I slowly pick up some words that I saw in the book. So that's what I was doing for a little bit. If you guys want to update on pretty much what the pronunciation sounds like, it's absolutely horrible, but you got to start from somewhere. So the most embarrassing part is saying it out loud. So I think it's some almost part of release or freedom of actually recording these of me sounding bad, because this is as embarrassing as it gets. Just posted on YouTube of me sounding absolutely tone deaf and pitch deaf. So, that just makes it 10 times easier for me for practicing, because if I could put it out there, I could jump in these chat rooms and also talk and not be scared to embarrass myself. Because if I'm always embarrassed to speak, I'm never going to improve in the first place. So, this is what it sounds like right now. Mary-san, shumatsu wa taitei nani o shimasu ka? そうですね。大抵うちで勉強します。でも、時々映画を見ます。そうですか。じゃあ、土曜日に映画を見ませんか？土曜日は、ちょっと、じゃあ、日曜日はどうですか？いいですね。So that was pretty much This is Takeshi-san trying to spit some game right now with Mary. Mary's saying, so the first instance, Takeshi's like, yo, what do you usually do on the weekends? You know, he's trying to play some game right there. And Mary's like, well, usually I study, but sometimes I watch a movie. So Tokidoki is a sometimes. So Tokidoki eiga o mimasu. So sometimes I watch movie. So my boy Takeshi-san came in here and he's like, oh, so desu ka? Like, oh, you be watching movies. And he comes in here and says, well, how about, on Sunday, which is Nichiobi, or no, he said Saturday, Doyobi. He's like, Saturday, how about you watch a movie with me? And, Mary's over here like, I don't know about that. And she said, she said, Doyobi wa chotto. And chotto means just, it's like a little, I believe, yeah. Chotto is a little, but it's also like, kind of like a way of saying like, that's probably not going to work in common sentences, I guess. So, instead of Takeshi going out there and saying, all right, I struck out, time to go, my guy goes right back in and he's like, all right, if it's not Doyobi, what about Nichiobi? And then he gets the date. So he said, Nichiobi wa dou desu ka? She said, ii desu ne. And he got the date. So my boy Takeshi Stone stayed in the pocket, got a date with Mary to go to the movies. So now we're going to be moving on to Mary's host family. This one's a little bit harder for me to read just because there is a lot of the words that I don't have exactly memorized yet. On top of that, they're starting to incorporate a lot of kanji, so there's a lot of furigana on the top of it, which is furigana is like, they have like the kanji, but they have like the hiragana at the bottom of it. So this is Mary talking to her host family. So she says, Ohayo gozaimasu. Ohayo, iyai desu ne. 今日は京都に行きます。京都で映画を見ます。いいですね。何時頃帰りますか ?9 時頃です。晩ご飯は食べません。そうですか。じゃあ、いってらっしゃい。Itakimasu. So this is Mary. She's saying hi to her host family. This one's always been a little bit harder for me to read. I still need to work on it. She says Ohio after she's coming home, and what her host family says, Ohio, hayai desu ne. Desu ne is like right. It's almost like when you're like trying to confirm something, you're like, that was pretty cool, right? Like that's like kind of like the ne there. So hayai. Hayai, I'm probably saying that completely wrong, is saying like, oh, you're early. So she's saying like, aren't you a little bit early? And she's saying, like, yeah, I'm here. But then she's like, today, kyou wa Kyoto ni ikimasu. I'm going to Kyoto. So kyo is today, that's the subject. Kyoto ni ikimasu, Kyoto, I go. And then she says, Kyoto de eiga o mimasu. I'm going to go watch a movie in Kyoto. So, ii desu ne is like, oh, that's nice, I believe. Ii desu ne. Let's look at that for confirmation real quick. It's probably in another, it's not here. Ii desu ne is like, okay, I see. I'm pretty sure. So, ii desu ne, nanji goru kairimasu ka? So, nanji goru kairimasu ka is nanji. So if you say non, that's like what? And ji is like the direct time. So like the time you put like kyuji would be like 9 o'clock. So nanji goru kairimasu ka? So nanji goru is like around what time. Kairimasu ka is to come back, or I think, yes, to come back. Where is it at? To go back. So, kairu is pretty much the definition for, or like the verb to go back or to return from a destination. So you would actually use ni here most of the time. So the sentence is saying around what time we return. And she says kuji goru desu, which is around 9 o'clock. And then she says bangohan wa. So it's not really, you didn't put a ka there. So usually if you want to ask a question, you put ka. but you could also use context, or like kind of like a pitch increase, or like bongo hanwa. So that's saying like dinner, you're gonna eat it, dinner, and she's saying tabemasen. So when you say taberu, that's saying to eat. Taberu is to eat, and tabemasen is the conjugated form to say I will not eat. And she says, so desu ka, ja, itterashai, itekimasu. Go and come. Itterashai means go and come back, and itekimasu is I'll go and then I'll come back later. So that's my reading for the day. There's not much improvement per se, but I'm getting a little bit more familiar with actually like reading the hiragana and katakana, because in the past they would have romanji at the bottom. So you would have like these words that sounded out, which are nice to have every now and then, but now when you're looking at it, it's not there. So it's more like this, where you just have the furigana and the kanji and the hiragana and katakana. So that's pretty much what we're working with. That's my evening. I'm going to put some of these into my Anki deck now for chapter 3 and keep working through those as I go. I'm going to actually test myself one more time to make sure I have my katakana down that I learned today. I learned 5 new ones because I was struggling with the tachi tsute to. So I'm going to redo that. And then I'm going to do a little bit more immersion work. So I'm watching Orange Days, which is a fire Japanese drama. I mean, I'm a sucker for like the rom-coms and like the very like dramatic rom-coms. So I'm eating it up. It was supposed to be something that I just watched in immersion and I just keep listening to like the first episode over and over again. But this thing is pretty good. So I think I just might watch the show multiple times over and over on end. So that's my plan for the evening. All in all, a pretty good Monday to start the day or start the week. It's very important you get your studies in on Monday to start the trend of the week. We got our workout in too. Even though it wasn't like a long workout, and like we did about 4 exercises, which isn't bad, but I'm still coming off sickness, so I want to be conscious of that going into event season and like heavy season for my work. So all in all, great Monday. We're gonna build our Anki decks, practice our writing a little bit more, and then we're gonna do some immersion work. So appreciate y'all watching. I hope this helped y'all out.